Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, let us say thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, which has given guidance and blessing to us. Therefore, we can gather here to attend international conference. Let me introduce myself first. My name is RAHAYU, and I'm a guidance and counseling student from Masum University. Abstract. Cyberbullying is a challenge for counselor in the face of the Industrial Revolution 4.0. Many studies report cyberbullying is the impact of the use of emerging technologies. The rise of cyberbullying affects mental, psychological, and social disorder. This presentation aims to formulate the prevention of cyberbullying using cinema. Cyberbullying is a threat in the era of social media, which contribute to mental, psychological, and social disorder. The Labour British Anti-Bullying Organization survey of 10,020 respondents aged between 12 and 20 showed that Instagram was the first highest cyber violence in 2017, and Facebook became social media with the second highest cyber violence. Cyber violence in this context is better known as cyberbullying. Cyberbullying can be negative comments on certain posts, unfriendly personal message, and spreading posts or profiles of certain social media accounts by making fun of them. UNICEF found that 50% of 41 teenagers in Indonesia between the age of 13 and 15 have experienced cyberbullying. Some of these actions are publishing the personal data of others, stalking, revenge in the form of uploading photos or videos with the aim of revenge coupled with the act of intimidation and extortion. Cyberbullies use various information technology tools to carry out their action. Social network for 35% and text message for 33% rank first and second as widely used means for cyberbullying. Many studies have stated that cyberbullying is a negative impact of the openness of technology and information. This is a challenge for counselors in the face of the Industrial Revolution 4.0. School counselors should be able to keep up with every development of the times, required to be more professional and conducting guidance and counseling. Counselors are expected to have media literacy, understanding of various appropriate and relevant media. Media literacy is knowledge about how media works, how media builds social meanings, and how media function in our daily life. The aim is to educate the public to be able to use the media intelligently and critically. Based on media literacy studies, the use of cinema can prevent cyberbullying. The function of cinema, in addition to presenting information, can also influence attitude and motivate students gradually for the better. A cinema can improve student understanding and independence to change the condition that originally had a poor social ethic for the better. The use of cinema can help students reflect on the events surrounding it concerning the importance of tolerance in creating peace. The role of cinema in prevention of cyberbullying is to stimulate the empathy of cyberbullies. Baron and Barron state that cinema can have positive effect of increasing the growth and insight of students about empathy. They will feel empathy for the fiction character as to the victim in real life. Empathy is an important aspect that students must have to prevent cyberbullying. Result and discussion. The origin of cyberbullying. Cyberspace gives internet users the opportunity to attack other individuals. People not only from the internet, celebrities, teachers, totally individual or whole group of people. Involvement in such action brings suffering to those victimized as well as potential negative consequences for the perpetrators. Cyberbullying is an act that is continually repeated through the use of computer, mobile phones, and other electronic devices to harm and hurt others. Based on research making Barana, the biggest risk of the internet abuse in adolescents in cyberbullying of 30.27%. In the study, cyberbullying is got the most percentage compared to other negative impact. In line with Utami, who mentioned that cyberbullying is one of the causes of internet abuse from social media among teenagers. Interaction on social media can be done without having to be face-to-face and can also interact with known and unknown people. Technology and information are not the only cause of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is a teenager decision-making in interacting and commenting on social media. Also, cyberbullying is understood to be aggressive behavior in adolescents through digital technology. The psychological effects cause cyberbullying such as self-regulation, empathy, emotional maturity, and others. Empathy has very correlation with pro-social behavior. Students can share their feelings with others in atmosphere of joy and sorrow, willingness to assist others both material and moral, and also willingness to work with others to achieve goals. Empathy can also increase at individual self-esteem. The negative relationship between aggressive behavior and empathy is evident in various literature studies. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, based on theoretical consideration, suggesting that a lack of responsive empathy may be characteristic of cyberbullies. Cyberbullies are found to be less empathic than their non-cyberbully counterparts. A research conduct modeling predictors and consequences of cyberbullying found that empathy is one of the predictors. Although, another study conducted in Singapore showed that cognitive empathy plays a crucial role in cyberbullying behavior. It also found that both cognitive and affective empathy play a vital role on cyberbullying. Therefore, cyberbullying prevention intervention not only focus on regulating the usage of gadgets and social media, but develop student ability to wisely social media. Empathy is the psychosocial capital of students to be wise in social media and avoid cyberbullying. The negative relationship between aggressive behavior and empathy is evident in various literature studies. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feeling of others, based on theoretical consideration, suggesting that a lack of responsive empathy may be characteristic of cyberbullies. Cinema as media to improve empathy. Empathy is required for a deep understanding of the human condition. One of the advantages of cinema is that it gives a deep impression which can affect student attitude. The use of cinema is considered effective in increasing students' social sensitivity. Cinema is useful in teaching empathy because it is familiar and evocative. Movies provide a quick and direct teaching scenario in which specific scene point out important issues. Emotions are present in accessible way where they are easy to identify, and learners are able to understand and recognize them immediately. In addition, learners have the opportunity to translate movie life history into their own life. The use of cinema is increasing empathy in groups in 4 levels, namely intellectual, social, behavioral, and emotional. At individual intellectual level, reflects story content. Through cinema story, students identify themselves with character events in critical thinking, whether real or fictional, analyzing moral values, stimulating critical thinking, developing self-awareness, improving self-concept, and improving personal and social judgment. The result is improved behavior, the ability to deal with, understand, improve time, life problems, and increase empathy, tolerance, and respect for others. In social level, cinema can strengthen social patterns, culture, observe the value of humanity, and help each other. Cinema encourages students moral centered on willingness to empathize and willingness to help others. Through cinema stories, students can find many models that can provide many examples of social habits and verbally express feeling of empathy. Third, the level of behavior of cinema use can guarantee personal freedom and protect students' secrets. Because usually, students are afraid and anxious to open personal things such as bad habits and unpleasant experience, that habit experience. At this stage, students are invited to reflect the content of the cinema story that has just been seen. discuss about the good and bad characters in the story, the moral message that can be taken, how the characters feel in the story, and what example can be taken from the main character, so as to increase student awareness of the importance of empathy towards others. On an emotional level, individuals can get carried away with their feelings and develop awareness regarding emotional insight, increase empathy, and foster altruistic attitude in students. Through this stage, students become emotionally involved in the story of cinema and channel emotions that are bullying safely. In this process, students are able to unload their emotional burdens and relieve emotional distress. Cyberbullying prevention strategy through cinema. Cyberbullying prevention using cinema is done through cinematherapy activities. Cinematherapy is a therapy technique that uses film to get the meaning of the process of guidance and counseling to the counsel about ability to look at them and self or individual. To carry out cinematherapy can be reached by several stages. In cinematherapy, there are the following ways by Gregerson 2010. First, the brief. Preparing or drawing up instructions help individuals to prepare themselves. It can also help individuals to capture their impression and be able to remember their process in a movie watching session. In this instruction can be recommended such as to stay comfortable in watching, paying attention to the position of the body, regulating breathing in order to release tension, and a little bit of personal reaction that form. Second, movie selection. Films can be hand-selected by individual or group or professional. Selected movie or video should provide a more insightful or useful one. Counselors should choose movies that can be customized individual situation, problems and needs and goals. Other considerations are diversity issues such as background and culture. The selected film must have the storyline regarding the impact of bullying received by a person. Film selection should avoid inappropriate content such as harassment, violence, and other content that is personally offensive or contrary to therapeutic purpose. And the last, homework assignment. The use of homework has proven to be a useful technique in therapy. Setting a major movie as homework is well acceptable because watching a movie is considered as a fun activity, and viewing can be done alone or together or in groups. Therapy should invite together to discuss how to react film. Individuals will write their reaction in the form of notes for use in shared discussion. And the conclusion is, the prevention of cyberbullying using cinema is preventive effort through the suppression of empathy. The use of cinema focuses on 4 aspects, namely intellectual, social, behavior, and emotional. Operationally, cyberbullying prevention using cinema follows the steps of cinematherapy, namely the brief, film selection, and home assignment. That's all the presentation that I can deliver. Really, what I have said is gainful for us. I'm sorry if I had mistake. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.